Hey guys, after several attempts at this, let's do this again. This is Touchdown Tommy, Purple People Eater of the American Forces Network's Pure Pigskin Football Radio Show, which is the only civilian military-run sports show on the AFN network from Guantanamo Bay, Cuba Naval Station. So we have a special guest. This is Touchdown Tommy, Purple People Eater. This is Captain Jack Rackham.
Captain Jack Rackham, yarg, mateys! Welcome to the States, where you're not at right now, and I know that's a little bit of a problem for you guys, but we won't talk about that. Captain Jack has successfully escaped Guantanamo.
And this special document, what would you say? What would you say?
A docudrama-mentary.
Yep. It's a documentary on the FCS championship game, which is the first year of the playoffs in college football, as well as the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
You talking playoffs, Tommy? Playoffs?
And surprisingly, the Cowboys are in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be hard not celebrating August 8th next year, National Cowboy Day of 8-8, because they actually made it past 8-8 this year. It only took them 3 years to get past 500. But you know what? Bravo to the Cowboys for actually making the playoffs. I will give them that, because this year, Tony, actually had a good year and led them to the playoffs. But the reason why the Cowboys are in the playoffs is specifically because of DeMarco Murray and that offensive line, of which there are 3 first-round picks on that line. You have a running game, you have a good back in Murray, you're going to have some success. And Tony, doesn't have to throw the ball that much anymore. But then again, when you do throw the ball, you got Dez Bryant, and that's a fantastic thing. You still got Witten as pretty much your teddy bear. You can throw it to him when you need to as well. Dallas's defense has come up this year. They were supposed to be really crappy, but they've actually played a really good year. So, again, congrats to the Cowboys, but, and here's the big but, this is being recorded after the first round game, of which the National Football League, which means National Up for Sale League, had a call which definitely went the Cowboys' way. Dallas was losing that game fair and square. I tell you what, the Detroit had them on the ropes. They did let them come back in. I will give them that the Cowboys came back successfully in the third and fourth quarter. But I'm telling you, there has not been a playoff game as badly officiated as that game, going back to the Tuck Rule game. But we won't talk about that here, folks. We're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys squeaking by on a blatant bad call. A good call which was made by the officials and then picked up. That's the bad portion of it. You take that call away, who knows what would have happened, Would the Lions gone down the field and scored another touchdown or a field goal to make it a little bit more of a 7-point game versus a 3-point game? Don't know. The point is they were screwed!
Yeah, so we got them playing the Packers. And actually, we got Carolina in, we got Seattle,
which are going to be some good games, Tom.
We got some good games. We also got Denver. We got the Patriots.
Denver.
Yeah, we got the Ravens. Who else do we got in?
Well, you got the Ravens coming up to the Patriots, and I tell you what, the Ravens have beaten the Patriots 2 out of 3 times in New England. That is Joe Flacco's record against New England in New England. 2 wins, 1 loss. If anybody can beat the Patriots in New England, the Ravens and Joe Flacco and Jim Harbaugh and his staff and crew, they can do it. They are not scared of the Patriots. Whether they can do it or not this year remains to be seen. But I tell you what, it's going to be a very good game. It's going to be an entertaining game. And if the Patriots squeak by that game, I can see the Patriots going all the way. But we won't go there just yet.
Let's start off.
We're not going to go there just
Let's
yet.
jump back into the NFC North champions. And actually, NFC North champions were the Green Bay Packers.
Yes,
because they beat the Packers.
Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go! I know, that hurts.
That hurts as a Vikings fan. But let's... Packers playing the Cowboys. In Green Bay.
In the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. John Facenda has come back. The frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
So who's winning this one and why? Just give us a quick preview.
A preview. I'll tell you what. This is the first time that Dallas has gone into Lambeau since the Ice Bowl of 1967. So you figure they haven't been there in over 40 years. Okay, awesome, really good game. You know, if you it's going to come down to this: Dallas has not lost a game this year where they were the visitors. They were 8-0 on the road this year. This would be their 9th game in Green Bay. I tell you, they have the capabilities based on that running attack, which is going to be important when it gets colder. If the guys can continue to run in Dallas, they're going to be able to have a good game. It's going to come down to which quarterback, the MVP of the league, or should be in Aaron Rodgers, or if he has the game, or Tony, not messing up. I'll tell you what, if it comes down to a running attack, depending upon weather, I'm going to give it to the Cowboys. If it's decent weather and Rodgers is going to be able to throw, the defensive secondary of Dallas, I'm going to give the Green Bay receivers the upside on that. Rodgers to Jordy Nelson, Rodgers to basically whoever he's throwing to against the Dallas secondary. So again, depending upon game conditions, if it's a really snowy, bad weather game, I like the Cowboys in the running attack. But if it's a decent game as far as not too much of the elements, I'm going to give it to Green Bay.
Okay, so giving it to Green Bay on this one, okay?
Well, you
like that to us. Okay, so twisting. It's decisive on
decisive on weather, in my mind, anyway.
Okay, so let's move on to the Seattle game versus Carolina, which I don't think we should even talk about.
Can we say this in about 5 seconds? Seattle will win heavily, easily.
What's one? Do the Panthers even have a chance?
Actually, they do, and people are going to overlook the Panthers this year. As far as the fact is that the Panthers have played well when they needed to play well. You're scanning the room, you bastard. You shouldn't be doing this. A lot of Raider stuff in the room, but it needs to be put up. Anyway, Seattle is not the same team that they were last year. I mean, they have that fantastic defense. They got Skittles Lynch doing his beast mode. Got that.
Yep.
They're a good team, and they've gotten better. And I'll tell you what, if they hadn't had the momentum coming back from their last few games, it would be a case of, Carolina could pull this off. Carolina has a team of destiny, and the fact is that, they're very upset that everybody is overlooking them because they do not have a winning record. Okay, now they're actually, I guess it's 8-1. So technically they're at 500 right now, at least on that. Okay, I still say I like Seattle in this with the 12th man coming out. I don't see the Seattle Seahawks losing at home. They are playing the way that they are capable of playing. So give me Seattle all day long in that mode. So
even though Carolina has only allowed teams in the past 5 games to score, I think, less than 50 points, do you think the Carolina defense could possibly hold?
The Carolina defense has the capabilities of holding. I just don't see it.
Okay.
I just don't see it in the playoff game.
So we're possibly looking at, let's say, Packers and Seahawks for the NFC Championship game.
We can if we're going to say that that Rodgers can come through and we'll put Packers in with the Seahawks, that's a game that's even hard. I wouldn't even go to make a pick 'em on that because again,
we're picking up the Super Bowl, so this is a special. Since I only see you one time every year or 2 years.
Okay. If we're going with a Green Bay at Seattle, which is what it might come down to. I'm going to go Green Bay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Green Bay. I want to say that if Green Bay is going to have its toughest opponent in the playoffs this week in Dallas, okay? If they get past the Cowboys, I like Green Bay beating Seattle in Seattle to win the NFC.
Let's say the Dallas beats Green Bay. Can the Dallas Cowboys beat the Seattle Seahawks? Didn't they beat them this year? I think the Cowboys are one of the few teams that actually several teams beat them.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I said, Dallas is 8-0 on the road. So if they become 9-0 and beat Green Bay, I think that they would be a team of destiny, especially with getting all those calls that they probably shouldn't get. So pick whoever wins the game between Dallas and Green Bay to win the NFC.
Okay, that's from Captain Jack. Moving on to the AFC, we got the Patriots playing the Ravens. Which Tom Brady's been playing amazing this year.
Tom Brady has been playing amazing. The Patriots are lucky, and I shouldn't say that they're lucky, but they do have the benefit of playing in probably one of the easiest divisions, the AFC least. No, I said the AFC least, not the East, because pretty much they have no competition in the AFC. So figure you're going to get at least.
Oh, Steelers were good this year,
but not in the AFC East.
Yeah, okay, true. Okay,
AFC
oh yeah,
East.
okay,
The Steelers
AFC
play in
North.
the AFC North.
Yep.
So based on their schedule, they're going to be pretty much a perennial playoff power based on their schedule and where they play. Okay, the Patriots have been playing better as the season's gone on. Patriots were pretty shaky at the very beginning. Oakland should have beat them game 3, if it wasn't for a bad officiating call.
Okay,
I'm just
let's get rid of this Raider bias. Okay.
Well, it's not Raider bias, but the thing is that the Patriots are a team that has been playing well at the end of the year, which is when
solid
they need
too.
They need to gel. The point that is, shall we say, that needs to be made is that Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens have gone into New England and beaten them 2 times of the 3 times that they played.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody can go into New England and beat the Patriots, it would be the Ravens.
That's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a very good game. So who are you picking this game?
You know what? I'm going to pick an upset. I'm going to pick the Ravens over the Patriots this weekend in that game.
You think by what, 3 points, 6 points?
I go by what Dow Davis says, man. Just win, baby. I see a W on the score for the Ravens against New England.
Okay, here's another good game, which Andrew Luck tends to have is pretty good in the postseason.
Yes.
Andrew Luck, the Colts are playing Peyton Manning and the Broncos.
Okay, if you go back to the very first game of the year, when the Colts went out to Denver and they played the Broncos tough, just like the year before in Indianapolis when the Colts beat the Broncos on a I think it was a Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
They started this year on a Sunday night game. It was the Colts going to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
They had a ferocious comeback at the very end, came up a little bit short. By all counts, the Colts probably should have won that game, okay? Mm-hmm. If the Colts are playing up to their capabilities and Andrew Luck is playing up to his, it's going to come down to which quarterback is going to play better. And you guys are saying, but you're playing against Peyton Manning. But you know what? Andrew Luck is playing at the top of his game right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can see an upset where the Colts go into Denver with Peyton not playing up to par and winning the game. What's going to win it for Denver is if they have that running attack with their back, and his name is.
Oh, you're talking about Anderson.
Anderson, there you
go. C.J. Anderson, he's a beast.
If C.J. Anderson has the game that he has had this year, running over the defense,
Colts,
it can be an easy Denver victory. Okay, but if it's a tight game, I'm going to give it to Andrew Luck and the Colts.
Okay, so now we've kind of decided that it could possibly be the Colts.
The Colts and the Ravens.
Playing the Ravens. Who's going to win the Colts? Yeah, who will play the Colts versus the Ravens?
I'm going to give it to Andrew Luck and the Colts playing at home in Indy. If it comes down to this, if Indy plays the Ravens, I'm going to give it to Indianapolis to be the representative for the AFC. Mm-hmm. And so we're talking a Colts versus whoever wins this weekend in Lambeau Super Bowl.
Who do you think's going to win? So you basically said whoever wins the Cowboys-Packers game is pretty much going to win the NFC. So let's say the Packers or the Cowboys play the Colts. Who's going to win? Let's start off with the Packers. If the Packers play the Colts for the Super Bowl, who's going to win?
Packers and Colts in Arizona. Now remember, it's a warm climate, pretty much an indoor game. On not on turf. It's basically
Rodgers is pretty
grass.
good. Huh?
I would say that's probably going to be the best Super Bowl matchup going. You have Rodgers against Luck, and I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers gets his second Super Bowl victory if it's the Pack versus the Colts.
Okay, so let's say we have the Cowboys playing the Colts.
If the Cowboys play the Colts, I think Dallas's Ruck. Boy, am I Chinese or what? Okay. I think Dallas's luck runs out at that time. During the Super Bowl, I tell you what, I would think that Aaron...
But the Colts don't have a running game. I think I think the Cowboys playing in Arizona, pretty dry weather unless it's raining. I think the Cowboys could possibly have
even if it was raining, they'd put the dome on. So, it'd be good to go. For some reason, just call it luck, I think... that the Colts and Andrew would beat the Cowboys. It would be a rematch of Super Bowl. Let me see, Super Bowl 5.
Yes,
when Jim O'Brien kicked the field goal to get the Colts victory against the Dallas Cowboys in Super Bowl 5. So call it another Colts victory over the Cowboys if it comes down to that.
Okay, so we've kind of given some different scenarios, but let's go back a little bit and let's say the Patriots. Let's say the Patriots go in and the Patriots end up winning the AFC and the Patriots end up playing the Cowboys or the Packers.
Okay.
So
we're talking a Patriots versus
Cowboys or Patriots versus Packers, depending on that NFC North game.
I would call whoever wins against that game, I would say that for the third time in a row, the Patriots lose a Super Bowl against the NFC. For some, I just like a Cowboys or a Packers matchup against New England. I think that the NFC will win that game.
Didn't the Patriots play the Green Bay in Green Bay this year? They did. Remember, the Patriots played Green Bay.
Not real sure, Tommy. It's quite possible.
Yeah, and I thought Green Bay... I'm going to have to go back to it, but it's definitely going to be interesting but I think if the Patriots play the Cowboys in Arizona, I think it's going to be pretty close. Both have the running game.
Yeah, each game, I tell you what, I don't foresee a blowout Super Bowl like we've been accustomed to seeing like last year or years before. So I'm thinking... this year's Super Bowl, no matter who it is going to be a very entertaining, close game. A game like we used to have instead of all these blowouts that we're getting accustomed to.
Okay, so we did a little bit. This is the Pure Pigskin special edition out of Tampa Bay, Florida, with the founder of the Pure Pigskin Football Show.
Yeah, Captain Jack Rackham is here.
Captain Jack, this is a recording which we'll be playing on either... I think we're going to play it this Friday on this show, tell you the truth. But let's break down the BCS championship game between Oregon and Ohio State. Surprisingly, Ohio State, which is one team that Touchdown Tommy did pick to go on, is now playing against Oregon, who Oregon defeated Florida State. So
great to beat Florida State. Ooh, rah! And this is the Gator talking, like I said. Yeah, not a lot of love lost here between Gators and Florida State. I tell you what, though, I give Florida State some props, but they ran into a buzzsaw in the fact that and this is what Captain Jack told all the customers in his sports store while he had a chance to see him. I said, if Oregon starts getting up by a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 3, if it got ugly, it would get really, really ugly, and they would just pummel Florida State. Florida State had those turnovers. It wasn't Winston's fault. Winston had one turnover that he can call his own that actually caused him points on the fumble. I'll tell you what, the fumbles, even the interception was really not his fault. So I tell you, hard luck for Florida State and Jameis Winston, who did announce today that he is going to be coming out for the draft. So he'll be gone probably 1 or 2.
So is Mariota. He's coming out too.
We don't know that. I tell you what, depending upon the winner of this, I mean, Marcus Mariota would be kind of stupid if he's a Heisman Trophy winner and a national champion not to go to the pros. I still see him going to the pros, but
I did hear rumors that there's possibility he may stay in university for an extra year.
It all depends upon, does he really want to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or does he really want to play for I think it's the Tennessee Titans.
Can he hold out?
He can. He's only a junior. He can come back for another year.
Yeah, okay. So let's who's going to win? Let's do a minute for this portion. Who's going to win the Oregon-Ohio State game? And where are they playing at?
They are playing in the house that Jerry built in Dallas, Texas. So you start the year in college football off at the house that Jerry built in Dallas, Texas. You end it there as well. I tell you, it's going to be a good game. I really think that Oregon is a team of destiny at this point. They keep running, they keep running, they keep running, keep those plays going, keep those plays going. They have beaten a good defensive team. I tell you what, the FSU had a defensive team unlike anything that they ran against in the Pac-12. Okay, that's going to only help them. If you beat a team like Florida State, which has a really good defense, an ACC / kind of SEC type defense, I tell you, they have the horses that can go up against Ohio State. Ohio State has not played a team as, shall we say, they beat Alabama, basically no fault of their own. They have the capabilities, but I tell you what, when you come down to a Heisman Trophy winner against a third-string quarterback, no matter who you are, I know the guy is a load. He's like 6'6" and 250. That's a lot to bring down. I tell you, and he has an arm on him, but I tell